forest floor crackles when I shift my weight. Pine needles, I tell myself. Just pine needles. But the air is too still tonight. No wind to rustle the branches, no owls, no scuttling in the underbrush. Like the woods are holding their breath. A twig snaps. Not close, not far. My hands go still around the zipper of my sleeping bag. The chill climbs my spine. I press my palm flat against the tent floor. Damp, cold, steady. The sound of my own flashlight switching on. It's out there, holding it. The beam slices through the tent fabric, casting a blade of light across my ribs. My fingers dig into the sleeping bag. I never left the flashlight outside. A whisper, inches from the tent wall. Found. The nylon wall of the tent shudders. A touch, a breath. My throat tightens. No, that's not possible. The air is a coffin. Footsteps now. Slow, deliberate, not circling. Approaching, each one a damp crunch, like boots on rotten fruit. Closer. I taste copper. When did I bite my tongue? A shape blocks the light. The shadow stretches across the tent's ceiling, hunched, head cocked at an angle that makes my shoulders ache to imagine. The nylon ripples near my left ear. Something trails down the fabric. A fingernail? A twig? Leaving a glistening streak. The voice again, syrup thick and rotting, warm. Breath mists in front of me, the cold as teeth now. I want to squeeze my eyes shut, but my lids won't obey. The silhouette presses through, a stain spreading, blurring into the air above me. I smell wet earth and spoiled honey. My fingertips numb. I think I'm screaming. But the silence stays intact. My scream is a moth trapped in my ribs, wings beating against bone. The shadow unfurls, a tangle of limbs suspended like smoke. My breath hangs crystallized in front of me, sharp enough to cut. The flashlight flickers once, twice, glows brighter. It's touching the crown of my head now. I know this. A cold that isn't temperature, a vision splits, seeing the tent's ceiling, but also a cellar door warped by decades of rain, also a mouth full of broken glass. The images cling. The footsteps start again. Behind me. Beside me. A knuckle drags along the tent's spine, fabric puckering like skin under a suture needle. Outside, the trees creak in a wind I can't feel. Inside, the air is meat. Thick. Shared, the voice purrs, and my left eye floods with warmth. Tears, I think, until the smell hits. Iron. The shadow leans down. No face, just a vacancy that bends the light. My lips part. A whimper leaks out, and the thing mirrors the sound, but deeper. A death rattle harmonizing with itself. The flashlight beam turns viscous, puddling amber around my ankles. Footsteps recede. The shadow doesn't. The tent flutters as if breathing. Something slips into my ear, a liquid sigh. All the while, the watch in my right eye keeps turning. Turning. My tongue tastes the watch's rust. Or is it the blood from my eye? The cold isn't just in the air anymore, it's in the marrow, sluggish and deliberate, like sap hardening. My right hand twitches. No, someone else's hand twitches, pale and speckled with moss where veins should be. A pane of ice, fogged except where my face should be. Instead, a cavity fringed with damp roots. The flashlight dies. Darkness. Then a seam of greenish light splits the tent ceiling, but there's no moon tonight. The fissure pulses, membranous like a half-closed eyelid. The watch hand in my vision stutters. Midnight. 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 My moss hand peels back the sweat-soaked sleeve beneath, skin blistered with tiny, perfect keyholes. Something stirs inside each one, whispers. Outside, footsteps return, hundreds of them, circling, figures hunched and faceless, fingers brushing the ground like pendulums. The shadow's breath curls into my inner ear. Yours. It coos. My fingers. Not mine, not mine, not mine, scrabble over the keyholes. They weep, not blood. Thinner, sweeter, syrup. Thick strands stretch from the openings, glinting under that veined green light, tethering me to the tent floor, to the roots beneath. A keyhole on my wrist yawns wider. A tendril probes out, questing, blind. It hooks into the moss coating my forearm. Feeding. My teeth chatter as the cold spreads upwards, branching through bone. Across the tent, the shadow tilts its hollow face. I press a palm bark? Skin? Something splitting to my chest? No heartbeat. Just a muffled, metallic whir. A sound I know from childhood, from the wind-up music box I drowned in the creek. Its corroded lullaby hums under my sternum now. Something moves inside the keyhole beneath my collarbone. A pupil, lidless and glassy, peers out. Rusted gears, the weight of the shadow inside my lungs. The figures outside still. A chorus of joints pop as they bend, press their featureless heads to the ground, listening. For what? For what? In my right eye, the watch hand jerks. The shadow exhales, and my left eye's honey blood bubbles, scattering reflections. A girl, me? Kneeling in the moss, her back split open like a doll with 1,000 tiny hinges. The key trembles in my moss hand. So does the lock beneath it, blooming just above my wrist. The key's teeth catch the lock's edge with a wet, grating click. No, it's not metal on metal, more like bone splintering. My moss hand shudders, its fibers coiled around the key as if grafted. Tugging. Turn me, turn with me, turn into... The pupil under my collarbone swivels, leaching warmth from my throat. Its gaze burns through the tent, painting the crouched figures in feverish flashes. Their backs arch, synchronized, reverent. Drip, drip, drip. The syrup from the keyholes pools around my knees. It hums with the cadence of the creek from my memory, the one that swallowed the music box whole. You threw me away, the shadow whispers, but I kept singing under the mud. Sing for me now. Keyholes splinter across my torso, each sprouting a rusted hinge. The pupil under my collarbone swells, reflecting not the tent, but the girl with the split spine, her ribs splayed like keys on a ring. Mine. Hers. The shadows whirl in. My ribs creak as the key twists. I'm not moving it. It's moving me. The lock groans open, vertebrae by vertebrae, and the syrup blood thickens to resin, gluing me to the earth. My moss hand crumbles into rootlets, braiding through the keyhole's rust. The figures sway. Their mouths tear open in unison, wet clicks snapping the air. Not a language. A lock turning. I taste copper. My own voice rasps out, unbidden. Mother's hands in the creek bed, her song never sleeps. Fabric tears. The tent peels upward, not wind, but breath sucking at the canvas. Stars blink. No, eyes, lidless and weeping, the same honeyed rot that leaks from my pores. The key slips another notch. My collarbone cracks. Fingers of moss curl through the fracture, tendrils threading my lungs, grafting to the shadow coiled there. Yes, it purrs. The pupil under my collarbone bursts, flooding me with the weight of 1,000 open doors. My throat seals around the syrup's afterbirth, breath rasping through hollowed roots where vocal cords once trembled. Above, the eyelid stars smear into streaks, pupils dilating to swallow the sky. The creek remains black and glistening, but it's not water. It's gums, rippling around teeth stones that click in time with the figure's broken jaws. They kneel now, necks snapped back, throats yo-yoing with rootlets. My lungs shudder, encased in porcelain. I realize I'm humming, not a song. A vibration, felt in the soil beneath me, answered by 1,000 other tremors in the dark. The girl's shadow leans against my ribs, her spine a zipper of light. Moss veils my eyes. My hands fossilize into lichen-knotted wood, sinking into mud where the music box's lullaby still rises. The creek's teeth close softly around my skull, the melody now understood, a locksmith's tune. The teeth close, but they don't pierce. They mold. My skull reshapes to cradle their edges, a perfect fit. The song isn't coming from the music box anymore. It hums through my birch bones, through the mud marrow, through the roots now split-tongued and hissing. Something shifts under the creek's gums, not pain. Recognition. The girl's shadow isn't separate. She's a memory of the soil, a stitch in the rot. I feel her lullaby split my tongue, syllables unfurling as my jaw unhinges, low and resonant. Language unravels, becomes Morse code tapped by centipedes in my lungs. They told me Mother drowned here, but I know now she fermented, gestated in the honey rot until her fingers sprouted cattails, until the dark could birth her back as hymn and fungus. This is the inheritance, not death, but a beckoning. A choir of opened throats. Moss seals my nostrils. My thoughts grow fibrous, slow. I want to claw at the dirt, but my fingers are rootstock, groping deeper for the cold pulse below. The pupil under my collarbone yawns wide, a lens. Through it I see them, all the others, grafted to the earth, ribs splayed like lattice for ivy. Their eyes flutter as birch seeds, watching, waiting. The lock clicks. Air wheezes through my lung tendrils, then stops, but the song doesn't. It pours from the gills in my sides now, bubbles rising through the creek's saliva. The stars above blink once, heavy, and the eyelids shut. When the last tremor fades, softness takes me, not silence, but the lullaby turned inward. Afterbirth, cradle. I let the soil sing my name to nothing. Let the teeth keep turning. Someone's daughter is always drowning here. Someone's mouth always open to receive her.